what up?
What up, sir?
Walang peoples today.
Nasaan sila?
Hindi ko alam eh. Si Girl ba daw
Sila
nga
Winfred
lang
wala
nakikita
pa
ko
eh.
in-game eh. Okay, kala ko nga si Winfred.
Siya nag-iya.
Okay.
Oh, weird.
Gigano.
Okay ba? Pero playing Apex sila eh. Si Girl
Si
Budol.
Thea lang online. Hindi online si Winfred.
Meeting pa ako.
Oo lang. Currently naka-meeting ka.
Ano yan?
Nasa meeting ka currently.
Oo.
The usual.
Tapos sa'yo yun, nag-aaming kay duties daw eh.
Anong duties?
Yung boyfriend
May ginagawa. Buta okay. Wala siya eh. Tingnan ko yung friends ko kanina eh. Baka kaka-online niya lang.
Online siguro yan, pero sell lang. Tayo pa na, may backlog rooming pa kami, wait lang.
Go lang.
Brandon siya, wait wala.
Ano?
Si Brandon wala.
Wala rin yan. Wala rin siya lang sa isa. Higan. Mukhang tulog na eh.
Idol.
shit. The fuck?
checking for loot here.
God damn it.
I think this place could use a looting.
Really, dude. How do you do that?
Whoa! What a rush! What? Go faster! It's go time!
Fuck.
It's go time! It's go time! Faster, faster, faster!
Down yan direct.
Ooh, that's gonna kick! Let's go faster. Rápido.
Really, dude? I can't do shit anymore.
Rápido, rápido.
What do you mean?
Faster, faster, faster.
I'm not angled enough.
It's go time.
Oh my god, I can fucking wall jump. Holy fuck.
Ready, set, go.
Holy shit. Oh shit, oh my god. Never mind, I suck. God damn it. It's going on the left side. It's close. Really close. That feels really weird. But
Must go faster.
I tried on this one. It's close. Do it here. Holy shit. That is insane. Oops.
Faster, faster, faster.
Wala po rin.
Wala pa rin people.
Tara. Ano tara? Ano? Ano ba? Ano laro?
So, mag-Valorant.
Pass lang.
Apex na lang.
Hello? So, mag-balance? Kaya Apex na lang. Okay.
go time!
Tulog si Brandon. Lagot ko.
Ano?
Pag tulog yan, lagot yan. Gising yan mamaya.
Mga 2 o'clock people ba yan?
Saka gising hanggang alas 4 o 5. Meron. Wait lang, sir.
Ito ang sinasubukan. At ayun. It's not bad. Kailangan na. Fuck, mali. Okay. Excuse me.
Anong tawag dun sa stand ng mic pre? Na pwede sa table?
Clamp? Nakalimutan ko yung tawag dun sa double, ano, double something arm. Boom arm. Table clamp. Kung ayaw mo ng may tinotornilyo. Alam ko meron nung parang nakaipit lang yung tornilyo sa ilalim na boom arm para sa mic.
Okay.
May bago daw map. Ayun yung thermal station, meron nga. Oh shit! Very nice.
350. Table kaya ito. Table kaya.
Siguro naman. Ayan, may nakita ko sa 500.
Ito 350.
550.
Saan yan? Lazada?
Shopee, bro.
Shopee din yung titingnan ko.
508. May isang sale. Dalawa pala. Kaso para sa webcam pala, joke lang. $850 yung sa mic. Ble. Ngayon siguro kung kaya mo bilhin ng shock mount. Mga universal shock mount.
Ano
Para-
yan?
Yung para hindi masyadong rinig yung mga ano.
Ay, hindi may ano na yung ano eh. Meron na yung mic.
Meron na.
Oo, may shockproof na yung mic ng Quadcast.
Yes.
Nick, pakita ko.
Parang, oo nga, meron nga siyang kasamang shock mount. Oo, meron na. Yes.
Kaya maganda talaga to. Kahit nagagalaw, hindi naman narinig.
Lock and
Bangalore.
Nasaan yung mount? Ayun, okay na. Doon sa shop. Sa likod. Okay. Maganda na setup. Ayaw.
Para saan yung parang ano?
Alin. Yo.
Get ready.
Parang cover.
This one's ours.
Anong cover? Yung foam. Parang foam na malaki. Or hindi ba yan? Nakikita ko yung foam. Wait, saan ba ito? Ano lang yun? Wind. Dito na.
Heard that. Spotted.
May isa pang nag-drop. Dito lahat. Hindi ba natin nakakuha yung resources?
Spotted. Double timing it.
Wait lang, kuha niya.
May broken.
Namatay isa.
Reloading.
Dalawa broken currently. May tao sa likod ko.
Okay. Hindi ka napatay. Press broken.
Reloading. Spotted.
Ayaw.
Ako.
Press broken. Hindi ka napatay.
Hindi nakapag-healing yung path.
May kalaban ako lifeline tsaka pathfinder. Wala sila press armor. Kaya
Kanina. Oo. Nabili. Na-broken din yata ng bloodhound yung isa eh. Unfortunate.
Wala sila.
Nasa kabilang set. Kunin nyo muna yung reserve.
Okay.
Materials.
Kuha niya na ata.
Ay, malapit. Oh no, nakaliba-it. Nice, na-down yun.
Down one.
Right lang.
Okay.
Wow, nice. Okay.
The mark of a superior squad.
Parang mura ng hawak. Hehehe. Agad mag-purple hawak.
May turbocharger ba yun pag purple?
Pag-purple. Good shit. Nasa kanan tayo.
Round 3.
Hindi yung circle.
To enjoy this.
Doon sila. Naka-all-star.
Sakit. Wait, I'm lower. I'm lower.
Hop in the chimney.
Drop in the lower. Pop your rollies, boys. Taking a moment to recharge. Reloading.
Ako tinamaan din.
Team. May mga balata sa
Punta
akin.
ako kay Green. Hindi kita ako.
Ay, na-down ako. All-star.
Hey,
Bilas niya sumagot sa akin.
Double kill.
lakas na kasama natin ah.
Pilag ko nga siya, highest damage eh.
Siya lagi nakakatawa eh.
Victory is close. Achieve at all costs.
Match point. We need all the focus. Let's move.
Sa yung circle. Sa kaliwa. Laging nandun sa portal yung circle.
Laging pabor sa kanila. Hindi pabor tuloy sa atin.
Same lang. Symmetrical na.
Wala sila. Eh,
Dito na dito.
okay.
Based on that.
Top. Oh.
Juice.
Wala akong
Recharging my
ult.
shields. Stand back.
May tao dito sa kaliwa.
Low armor yun.
Broken.
Hostile spot.
Dito. Nice can.
Hostile out.
Last guy.
Oh no, namatay.
Oh no.
Need some help. Hostile.
Last guy stairs.
Reloading.
At nag-healing ako na. Wala, nagkamali ako na nag-healing ako. Sayang.
Tiebreaker. Don't hold back.
Oo nga, pwede pala ako mag-thermite. Very good thermite. So, circle, nasa gitna. Yun lang.
Nagasta ako.
Kunin yung resources sa bed. Converge na.
Round 5. Do not let them break through.
Materials.
On this side,
Materials, mateys.
Wala andyan.
dito lahat.
Wala dito.
Grenade. I'm taking fire.
Wala dito.
Kaya ngayon ang invisible walls talaga
Taking a
yung
moment to
mga
recharge my
ano.
shields. Materials,
Offense.
mateys. Marking our
Pinupush na ako. Go back. Yo, back down, back. Holy shit. We need to go to orange.
Sending a care package.
Care package incoming. Hop in the chimney.
Uy, nasa atin yung ano.
Moving in the chimney. Alternator here. Super compact. Easy to handle.
Fire and frag.
Ano yun? Ano yung kabarila niya?
Reloading.
Dito yung isa. Dito.
Wala akong tinatamaan.
Tayo bumabira sa akin.
Give me a sec. Charging shields.
And it's done. Ang hirap i-control ng recoil.
Give my shields a
Hindi
reach.
naman ako.
Sayang. Low na sana yung ano. Low yung ano kanina. Tayo na. Saan?
Wait lang.
Ah, damn.
Displacing.
Hindi ko makita kung nasan sila.
Di ba pala tapos? Okay.
The enemy's boot is on your neck. Remove it.
They're about to take this. You okay with that? I'm not.
Sige na ulit yung ring.
Lagi.
Round 6. I enjoy this fight.
Wala sila.
Materials. Check. Got company out there.
Materials, mates.
Kinuha nila yung... One broken. One broken.
Makapag-heal din sila. Dami silang
Gusto niya i-push me ult ako.
Care package.
nandito sa kabila yung mga daw.
Bumaga.
Target spotted.
For them.
Care package on high. Favor from the
Nandito na.
Enemy spotted.
Vance. May pupunta sa inyo.
Ay, lumabit.
May pupunta sa inyo.
Yeah.
Arc's not going long.
Uy!
Hindi ko okay.
Ay, na-down na ako.
Hindi ko ma-up.
Sight. Got your back.
Oh shit, may pupunta sa akin. Siya nag-back.
Healing mo na ako.
Ah, mali yung na-down.
Need a medic.
Mali yung target.
Displacing.
Ah, down tong isa. Tagal ko na sa inyo kalaro.
Oh,
Oh.
hindi ko tama. Okay.
Maalat rin maglaro yung Bloodhound.
Well done, winners.
Sumusugod siya eh.
Repeat.
Damn. Konti rin yung mission.
I hope you are too.
Right, dears. Time for a bit of a float.
I'm here to watch your back, brother.
Online na si Van.
Let's begin.
Hey.
Alrighty then.
Nagising din. It's Christmas.
Round 1.
Yawan na ako ng resources. Ano? Pero pa lang resources.
I got some materials for us.
May nagsisnipe. May taong may malapit sa akin.
Making contact with the enemy.
One close, one close.
Contact.
Never mind, I don't know. Oh shit. May nagsisnipe. I don't like this.
Care package arriving.
Down.
Hindi ko alam, hindi ko alam. Palapit na yung sniper.
Reloading.
Low yung isa sa kanila. Nandito.
Contact with target.
Hello.
Hello. What up?
Hello, dog.
Reloading.
Saan niyo yun?
Nasa
Oh,
left
yun.
side.
Nakita ko na.
Yeah.
Getting my shields
Yun yung nalo ko kanina. Supposedly.
I am repairing myself.
Nice. Broken. Slow. I'm dead.
I need some help.
Hello.
Tulog na.
Hello.
Biglang
Tara,
bumuhos
tara,
tao.
Apex. Apex.
Kanina pa kami nag-Apex, di ko alam si isa dyan.
Si Winfred eh. Uy, may bago, series.
May bagong what? Series?
What?
Ay, kaya napanood mo na yung Youth of May.
Monsters Inc. Yung ano?
Youth of May. Panoorin mo yan.
Di pa, ano yun? Korean.
It's a new K-drama.
Ooh, Netflix.
View.
Kasi hindi na wala ng pag-asa yun.
It's View. It's not,
Here I go.
Walang Netflix.
no.
Wala na video.
Materials.
Wait lang, CR lang ako, sorry.
I am getting shit on, bro.
Yay.
Wait lang.
Recharging shield. Healing up. Give me a sec.
Spotted a vampire over there.
Puro yung weather girl na naman yung laman na YouTube recommended ko.
Best girl.
Is that a bad thing?
Best girl.
No, actually, actually, I don't mind it because tinitingnan ko rin yung mga videos. Surprised lang ako na biglang siya ulit yung naging laman.
It's oh shit, here we go again kind of shit, you know?
Yeah, man. Kasi recently ang laman ng ano ko puro
That
sisintog
guy's
niya.
low. Down. Nice. May tao na dito. This guy is low.
Puro sitog and iron mouse sa vids yung nakikita ko.
Nakikit. Free.
Oh, ata.
Nagsa-Spider-Man lang ako. Hindi nila in-expect nasa likod na nila.
Lakas.
We win this round. Settle in for a nice cup of tea.
May magandang gun pala dito sa relatively early na game. You can get a purple havoc and have some more money for other equipment. Mura ng havoc eh, 350 lang.
Okay. Kung kaya mo control eh.
Yeah, I like it. Diba nasa hirap ka rin.
My rules, my body. I see.
Let's check out this way.
Taas.
Control yun?
Materials.
Di uso yung control.
Ay, nagsasnipe probably. I don't see them though. Feel ko na flank tayo sa mid. Where the fuck are they?
Wow, mid.
They're on the other side. What the fuck?
Recharging my shield.
Ha? Dog.
Hindi rin nila kinukuha yung mat sa mid. Holy shit, you're dead. Ilan dyan? Ilan?
Hello?
Isa lang.
One and all.
Load din yung armor niya. Pero hindi ko na-flash.
Package. Dropping from low orbit.
Magda-drop na yung ano ah.
Yeah.
Magda-drop na yung items. Ayaw niyo
Hello?
ba doon?
I am taking
Yo.
fire.
Oh, never
Ayaw
mind.
din.
Reload.
May isang isolated dyan.
Wala kami dito.
Damn, we're getting sniped out here. What the fuck?
Nag-ano ako.
Shields recharge.
Dito sila.
Contact with
Uy,
target.
may tao sa bridge. I'm going towards the items, man.
The enemies are shooting at me.
Enemy downed.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Oh, that is shit. R99, Hemlock. Well, that's a
Shooting
mid.
at me. Recharging my shield.
Oh, nawala yung dupe ko.
Nasa mid? Nasa mid ba? Tama ba?
Bata. Down.
He's low, he's low. Down mo yung
Down,
sniper.
down, down.
Okay, okay. Down yan, down yan. Hindi ka na mapansinin.
Reloading.
Ay,
Ay, wala.
nawala ako.
Got him.
Easy game.
Tahimik nung game. Wala akong reklamo.
Gusto ko yung Pathfinder. Not gonna like. Very
No,
nice.
hindi ka pa na papractice.
Ha, yes. Pathfinder very nice in arenas.
Okay.
Sobrang, sobrang mobile. Ang
Yeah,
layo na
man.
nararating ko. May sali ba?
Tutu ata tayo ngayon eh.
Hindi, dyan si Banmi.
We can 3-3.
Uy, meron tayong rampart.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Ano?
Medyo unusual yung rampart sa arenas.
Pili na lang kung sino gusto niyo.
Ay, kaso nag-in-game
Kahit sino.
nag-in-game sila, Kyle. Oh,
Ay,
bro.
quit ba kami?
Bro.
Bakit?
Tara, quit, Kyle.
2-2-2 daw.
2-2-2
Quit.
ba? Siyang ina
Ay,
nga.
nag-quit na ako.
Ay, gago.
Quick match.
Okay, nag-quit na rin kami. Ano, may sasama ba?
Sobrang
Tara,
comfy
tara.
nung Uniqlo shirt. Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, man.
Worth it, worth it.
He's unique, look.
You know what else is comfy? Not wearing a t-shirt kasi ang init.
Pero hindi mainit eh.
Mas lalo akong pinagpapawisan pag wala akong suot. Legit.
Yan.
Parang sa Saudi.
Malamig, sir eh. Mainit ba?
Sa...
Hindi ko ramdam.
Walang bintana dito, pre.
Kaya gusto ko rin yung gabi. Yung tanghali lang mainit dito yung gabi.
Di mapakali.
Malamig. Alam mo bakit mainit? Di ka kasi naliligo. Baho mo.
Oo.
Hindi ako maligo.
Kaliligo ko lang, sir.
Baho niya.
Wait, meron pa papasok? Or ilan na?
Si Brandon ata.
Brandon,
Sabi sa inyo.
Brandon.
Tara, Brandon. Let's play.
Parang kanina ko pa nagpe-play.
Oo, kanina pa yung naglalaro eh.
Ako si Althea.
Kasama namin yung
Hindi na
cowork
ma-play
ko
yun
kanina.
Asi.
Kasama mo ano?
What overtime? You don't play with your work friends.
Kasama mo aso mo kanina?
Unless sponsored ka.
Actually, name nung cowork ko Harold. Yung name ng dog ko Harry. Close enough.
Ha, dog. Are you
Tapos
trying to say
pangalan,
something?
tapos pangalan ng boyfriend mo, hotdog.
Hilig ka.
The important thing,
Ikaw pala si Althea eh. Hilig ng ha 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 ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
How you
Oh,
like
dahil Thursday
that?
pala bukas.
How you like that?
Thursday pa lang? Thursday.
Thursday. Wednesday pa lang, bro. Ay, wait lang. Thursday na ba?
Wednesday pa lang ba? Wednesday na.
Wednesday na. Yes.
Wednesday na.
I'll take your
Thursday.
life and your loot.
Day.
I'm exceptionally good at both.
I'm excited. Next week, balik na yung mga boss namin.
Okay, excited.
Balik na tayo sa regular subscription ng natin.
Regular program.
Let's go.
Regular programming na stream.
May bagong map.
Yes, sir.
I don't like this.
I don't like this idea. But it's okay.
Stupid fox decide to scope in and just
Feel ko isa-isahin
Hirap
naman. Isa-isahin.
sobrang
Isa-isahin.
bilis na counter sa kanila na Arc Star.
Isa-isahin din nila yung area sa lahat ng ano.
Yeah,
May tao dito?
makes sense.
Shit. Ilan?
Ang bilis.
Sa gitna
May
sila.
bagong
Setting up my decoy.
Itong papasok.
Picking up some materials.
Okay, Mats. Wala akong nakita dun sa...
Sa gitna sila.
Oh shit. Buhay ka pa, pre.
Sa akin na.
Gago, nandun sila lahat. Dito.
Uy, naka-L-star pala kaya pala lakas.
Nawawala.
Tayo, tatlo pala yung nasa may pinto.
Oh,
Nasa lobby ako.
Broken one.
ay gago.
Bakit? Ay?
Mainit, tabi mainit.
No, I can't aim.
Leave tayo.
Sorry.
Tatlo pala yung
Hindi
nasa
ko nga
pinto.
nakita si Brandon eh.
Yun nga. Gulat ka, sir.
Pag-alis ko bigla yung tatlo. Gusto nyo ganyan, lalaban na.
Spec Ops.
Wait lang. Nakamawat na ako after gamer 2.
Bilis.
Napatulog na siya ng
Nice.
nanay niya kanina.
Ako kung pabukas na 9 o'clock. Parang
Bakit?
3 days straight na ako maaga.
Ano meron? Meetings?
Oo. Grabe. Pagod na pagod yung mga meeting ko eh. Nag-umpisa mga 10:30. Tapos bigla naging 9. Tapos 9 na naman. Katamad. Nakakapagod.
Ba't ang bilis nila, gago?
Hindi mo rin alam.
Ano nangyari yan? Pathfinder ka na ano pa yung low? Low ba? Okay.
Uy! Meron sa likod ko buti.
Reloading.
I can't aim!
Oh my god.
L-star.
Alala, hindi ako maka-aim. Pangit na aim ko, gago. Ay, na doon ba tayo?
Wala.
Dati madon eh.
Hindi yata dapat nirarush. Masyado sila mabilis.
Let that care package have some sweet deer for us.
Nauna yung low ba sa mid? Hindi natin kaya unahan.
Dalawa agad sila.
Pathfinder siya low.
Sige.
Uh-oh, they're about to win.
Oh, it's just... Let's see.
One side lang muna siguro tayo. Mats na lang.
Okay, split muna ako.
Susundan ko lang kayo.
Andyan ba kayo?
Laruin to.
Kabila ako.
Andyan.
Ayun na,
Sama ka,
nag-TP
Brad.
na ulit. Nasa gitna na.
Bilis eh. One broken.
Sa right side. Right side.
Nandito sila.
To the woozle. Yeah, sending out a decoy.
Naka-L-star yung isa.
Kunin ko lang.
Down one.
Enemy taken down.
3 broken.
Oh, come on.
Saan sila nang galing?
And bam goes the woozle.
May tao dito.
Down one.
Ay, nagbobo-check doon sa gitna.
Meron dito.
I'm dead. Dapat di ko pinikin sorry. Sa loob lang sila. Nag-ano sila.
Sa likod. Broken.
Nice.
Last guy. Sama. Sa loob. Sa likod ko.
Making contact with enemy.
Uy!
Saan siya? Sa likod?
Nice. Okay. Let's see. We need to play it slow.
Nice. Very nice.
Nakakuha ba tayo na mats?
Dalawa.
Okay. Not bad.
We're about to win? It's not my fault.
It's fire.
R3-1 siguro ako. Balo nila. Hassle.
Saan tayo?
Nira-rush nila tapos nagloloba ult para makuha yung nasan.
Kaya ba?
Sundan ko lang kayo.
crate.
Ako,
Piling ka na lang sa
material
green ka.
collection ako. Sige.
Yun na naman. Ganun ulit.
Hostile over there.
Nag-ult.
Yan,
Sige,
nag-boss na shop.
Kaya nakuha nila lahat. Nakuha nila yung mga items. Wait lang wala ako sa inyo.
Nakuha ko na yung mga items sa side ko.
Wala na yun, wala na.
Hindi, ako yung nakuha.
May isa akong
Sobrang low na ng
may
chip.
sobrang low nung isa, sobrang low nung
Nasa loob ng bahay.
Pero nasa loob, wala tayong magagawa.
Throwing arc star.
May nandun ata.
Broken.
One down.
Broken.
Ay, hindi ko pa nakapatay. Ayan.
May temper dito.
Yun ako
May
mag-heal.
isa dito, isa doon. Thank you.
May isa pa dito sa loob.
Ay, go.
Nag-heal yung Pathfinder.
Nandito yung Pathfinder sa likod natin.
Nice.
Nice kill. Oy, pinabaril ako. Nice.
Mas magkakadikit yung materials dito.
It's working for us.
Mas magkakadikit. Well,
Kailangan natin.
meron kasing
mga-
isang central place na pwede rin kayo magkita.
Bumabili ng Artstar. Para sirain yung pinto.
Pero yeah, very dangerous yung gitna.
Same.
Thermite
Nag-arc-star
lang.
din ako.
Thermite lang binibili ko.
Yun, afford ko na bumili ng 2 violet.
Ha, yaman naman. Baller.
Yamanin.
Gagi yung round 2 di ako bumili.
baby.
Bumili lang ako ng alternator yun na yun.
Walang kahit ano.
Taghiraw.
Alternator lang.
Sabi nag-snipe sila ngayon eh.
Hindi. Ganun pa rin.
Wala sila dito?
Sa
Or
akin.
at least hindi ko sila nakikita.
Broken one.
nandun?
Flash yung isa.
Low one.
Nabaril ako.
Ah.
May tao dito sa likod ng
Sakit.
pillar na to. May tao sa likod ng pillar.
Giving my shield to recharge.
Hindi ko kita.
Broken.
Reloading.
Broken din ako.
Ayan lang.
Nag-heal sila.
Hindi ko kita kung saan yung bumaril sa event.
Hostile right here, right in front of me.
Andun.
Arc star out.
Saan?
Shots fired.
Nag-healing sila dito sa akin.
Me. I am
Sila?
Damn.
Reloading.
Down one.
Oo.
Arc-star ako.
One down.
Na-down din ako. Arc-star ako.
Down one.
Down two.
My God.
So, kinakancer ako. Nice.
got a bad guy.
Nice.
Nice.
Sa gitna na lang. Isa na lang yung buhay.
Nice try.
Ayan.
Ano nangyayari sa inyo?
Dami.
Our other friends are about to be.
Kailangan natin ng...
Feel ko kailangan natin i-thermite. Batuhan agad yung yung door. Mabatuhan ko agad ng frag yung door. Try ko magbato ng thermite sa loob.
Sige.
Ano yung...
Tirahan na naman.
Mabatuhan ko
Hindi
agad
siya
ng
nasa
side
loob
na
do
to.
kanina. Dun sa round na to.
Ah, hindi ba?
Yung previous round. Dalawa yung nasa labas. Bumabaril sa akin.
Nagsirahin ko na lang rin. Actually, dito lang ako sa mid.
Materials here.
Hindi naman tayo
Got
mag-split.
some materials.
Balik ako sa mid. Kasi may napatay ako dun kanina sa side ko eh.
Over here.
Get bamboozling.
Throwing our star.
Throwing arc star. Giving my
May tao
shield.
dito.
Right here.
She got
May tao sa likod sa tabi natin. Damn, ganito tama ako.
Hotdog.
Frag out.
Tao sa'yo, may tao sa'yo, Benz.
Bam. There
Ah.
Napunta, what the fuck?
something like that.
Meron dito sa akin.
Reloading. The enemies are shooting. Check it out. Care package coming in.
Wala masyadong aggressive ako. Pero dalawang broken yan. Nag-heal yung path.
Oh shit.
Nag-heal sila pareho.
Making
Nakapag-heal na yung bat. Nakapag-heal na yung bat. Wala. Kamali ako.
Pathetic.
Dapat
Making contact
dapat
with
nagpa
enemy.
ako. May nagpo-push.
Oh shit.
Ayak.
Gulat ako dun sa push.
Sila ba yung kanina?
Hindi ko alam.
Inspired. You stand to rise above the rest.
Kuga? Kuguru.
Lahat pala mobile. Madre.
Yes, sir.
Marunong lahat sila. Di nila binabaril yung clone ko.
Stay smart.
Sus daw yung movement.
Hindi uso yung ganun
Nandito
sa
sila?
gold plat.
Kunin ko lang tong
Ay,
isa pang...
sira yung lobby ko.
Yeah.
Save.
Oh no, I don't know. How to escape. Sila?
Full kayo pareho sa akin. Di mo
Nag-invite
Invite
ako.
ako sir.
May shield cell pa kayo?
Go.
May shield ba?
Thank you!
Shit, nakalimutan ko tingnan. Victory. Battle Royale, Wraith, Crypto, or Octane in any mode. Okay.
Ah,
no?
Kaya mag-Octane ako. Wraith.
ay gago.
Useful ba si Crypto dito? Parang odds on
Gago na,
Crypto
ipit
yung
ako
ayos.
dun sa jib. Egol tong jib na to.
Octane.
The championship is ours. These legs weren't made for walking.
Nagulat ako, hindi ako makalabas ng pinto. Gago na ano ako. Inipit
Inipit
ako
ka?
ni Gago. Oo.
I'm here to pour a little petrol on
Puta, mali.
Yan lang.
Watch out or I'll grapple you. Literally.
Mukhang baguhan yung Valkyrie ah. 0 kills.
I'll make these quick. I always do.
Baka bagong bili lang yan, sir.
Bagong bili.
Bagong bili yung hero. Pero yung aiming hindi.
Sila?
Ayan ang kahon.
Bukas.
Bags for materials, amigos. They're shooting at me.
Deploying me.
May tao sa'yo. Sharply.
Shooting at me. Here comes the old knuckle cluster.
Likod mo.
Down one.
Unbroken.
Dalawa.
Punta na yung pangatlo sa inyo.
Likod may. Katabi mo. Benson.
Being shot at. Reloading.
Tay.
Contact with enemy.
Likod niya.
Ay, Gago! Egol!
Clown tank.
Sobrang wala nito.
Dito isa. Dito isa.
Egol yun?
Likod. Dito.
Hindi ko alam.
On down.
Hey, Benson last.
Frame drop ako sa dulo.
Oh my
Wala,
God,
sobrang loko.
again.
Gago, hindi ko pa siya nakita.
Dito sa akin.
Dito.
Hey.
Nice.
Gago, tatlong tao. Ay, isang tao lang yung pumatay sa atin. Tatlo.
Talaga?
Gumagana yung cooling pad stream.
FPS drop ka.
Dun sa dulo. Kaya binaparil ko kanina yung pinto eh. Tapos ito para sa right side ko.
Dapat walang health cost yung Steam ni Octane dito.
Gago.
No ka.
Nako, sir!
Gago, legit ang hirap. Parang ayoko yung Q mo, okay. Hello?
Sa start ako nag-queue
Ano,
kapag
dito sila
arena
lahat?
para magkuha ng material.
Makes sense.
Tapos mag-regen na lang.
Hindi na ako kumuha ng materials.
Got some materials.
Yeah.
Oh my god, joke lang.
Nagya ako sa
May dalawa
taong
sa
nasa
kaliwa
ibang
natin,
game.
guys.
Got some
Nakuha ko lahat ng material
Oh
sa
my
side.
gosh.
Nice.
grenade. Watch out.
Hindi ko kita. May tao dito sa pillar na to.
This dude's not with us.
Some reason lagi siyang naka...
Knuckle sandwich. Launching me knuckle cluster.
Paalis ako sa'yo, Benson.
Oops, sa likod.
Was that a stick?
Oo.
Shit.
Gago, sinugod ako. Egol naman, lagi ako sinusugod.
Ah, damn. Shotgun.
Oh
Naka-shotgun
my god, bakit?
Oh, damn, bigat. Nakapag-heal siya, nakapag-heal siya.
Just...
Lagi ako pinupush.
GG boy.
May kalaban sa likod mo. Ay, ako. Sige, isa ka.
Look out. Grenade. Well taken down.
Oo, hindi akin.
Isang bala lang ng Mastiff. Nag-heal.
Gago, may tao sa hapin to.
Dito nag-heal din.
Bye-bye.
Nag-heal din dito. Tayo ka na Mastiff.
Bye.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm impressed.
Eh, maganda yung kanina yung simula. Tangina, Arc Star Stick, gago.
On their knees. End them.
Sinalo yung Arc Star ko, gago. Ay, gago, anime yung Max Arc Star nito.
Oo,
Kaso di yata nagka-carry over.
Hindi nga,
Oo,
hindi.
sayang lang. Hindi may babato lahat.
Tatlo lang piling.
Ay, na-die na.
Pero yung Q nagka-carry over eh.
Oh, yung Q. Skill.
Eh, parang skill na rin niya yun eh, yung mga grenades.
Materials for us. Yay.
Materials
Teka,
ready.
oops, nasa material yung isa.
Hit once.
Arcstar going long. Arcstar
May
going
Ben.
long.
Sa side ni Benson yung isa.
Fire, friends.
Baka meron.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Dalawa sa akin.
Knuckle cluster out.
Punta ako sa'yo. Matagal. Hindi ka makita yung kalaban sa side ni Benson.
Sa item yung isa.
Recharging shields.
Nasa supply bin yung isa.
Nandito yung isa.
I got some bad guys here.
Malapit na yung isa.
Sa akin lahat.
Fuck, may tao sa likod ko.
They shooting at me.
May tao sa likod ko.
Down.
Oo nga, dapat nga may health cost to. Gets ko na. Gaya ko walang health cost. Hindi, dapat ako na.
Nakabul ako.
Paikot-ikot.
Baguhan lang ata yung ano, yung Valkyrie. Nakatayo lang muna siya bago siya buwa pa rin.
You stand to rise above the rest.
Wala na pala sila pareho.
Yes.
Oo nga.
Ano, lalo.
Oo nga pala, last game nyo na to yung kanina.
Ano yan?
Si Kyle. Yeah, last game nyo na to kanina. Wait.
Sira yung lobby sa akin.
Broken din sa...
Tuto ba?
Si Winfred ata. Online pa eh.
Wala na siya.
Oo nga, nagsasolo si Winfred.
He's gone.
Nagsasolo siya. Online pa siya.
ka lang.
Trio kayo. Tapos sama ako kay na,
Online siya.
Alvin.
Gago, hindi.
Online siya, naka-join ako sa kanya eh.
Hindi ko siya kita.
Sino?
Si Winfred.
Online ba siya? Hindi siya online sa akin.
Ayun, tignan mo. Naka-join ako.
Oo, ano.
Check mo sa
Bakit
general.
sino lobby mo?
Grabe pa. Ba't ako makaka-join ko, sira? Parang baliktad yan Dapat nga hindi makaka-join kapag sira eh.
Hindi ko friend yan.
Trio muna kayo. Tapos tama na lang ako kay na either kay Alvin or kay Son.
Gawin nyo na
Open sila pareho ngayon eh.
Bakit may palaka or humihilik?
May umihilig. Ito yung sinasabi namin kapan, Benson.
Ulit nga,
Kahapon
hindi ko marinig eh.
Ano yun?
Nako, natutulog agad si Gayos.
Kay Gayos yan eh.
Ano yan?
May tumutunog sa'yo. Eh, shit.
Parang
umihilik.
vibrate.
Oo.
May hilig.
May natutulog? Talaga?
Oo.
Okay. Tao pala talaga.
Alam na nag-vibrate.
Ako rin eh. Kala ko may sira yung mic ko eh.
Bagong bili, may sila. Nice.
Ba't si Jason nasa main menu?
Kailangan ng warranty.
Alam mo yung silent na alarm? Ito ata yan eh.
Ano silent alarm?
Oo, yung nag-vibrate lang.
Hindi, parang...
Alam ko, dyan din natutulog si Gayos eh.
Legit ba?
Solo rank muna ako, try ko.
Ano to? Ayoko.
Hindi ka naman maglalaro.
11.
Ay, di ba kayo magti-trio?
Hindi daw maglalaro si Brendan.
Ay, okay.
Ay, wala si guys. Rock na lang ba ako?
Bilis matulog ni Gayos.
Yeah, let's go.
Team mobility.
Pero actually, baka last game na rin ako. Saktong 12. Stop.
Doubt.
Nagsastop naman ako, sir. Stop playing.
Stop playing. Tama.
Stop playing lang. Hindi stop computering.
Okay, rank TFT uli ako after nito.
Naka-platinum ka na ba?
Hindi ko sobrang galing na ng mga countered ako sobra sa mga meta ngayon. Ginagawa nila early pa lang sobrang lakas na ng damage. Di ba yung build ko usually pang late game yan? So hindi na ako maabot ng late game kasi hindi maka-hold. Puro early game yung mga ginagamit. Kailangan ko palitan yung lineup. If ever palitan ko strat.
Ano bang treat? Tsaka ano ba?
Ako redeem squid ako lagi usually.
Squid.
I'll make this quick, like always do.
Nung iron to gold ko, redeem squid lang gamit ko, puro first place ako. Parang baliktad dapat kami dyan. XD dapat dun sa long run. Doon ka doon sa kanan.
Tama. Para dun sa creds. Wala eh, kitna yung circle. Wala rin.
Parang wala sila dito.
I have gathered materials.
Yeah, andyan sila sa JP. Ay.
Wala sila dito.
Wala sila dito. Wala rin sila dito. Anyway.
Sa inyo.
Dami.
Walang nag-TP dito eh.
Meron na sa likod. Napanood ko yung likod.
Good shot.
Hindi ko okay.
Tatlo sila nandun. Nasa gitna sila tatlo.
Sa likod na
Uy! Sumatay ako!
Uy! Kanyari? Parang eliminate.
Sobrang ang bilis.
Na height. Height
yung
limit.
height.
Oo.
We should depth check out the care package.
Eh, good. Ano, magkukiw.
Kailangan mo bumaba agad.
Taking a moment to recharge my shield.
Umay naman nun.
Bak. Oh my god. Ang pangit ang posisyon ko. Ah!
Pangat na ugali ng Apex.
Recharging my shields.
Frame drop ako po.
Charging on my shields.
Bumaba na sila? Question mark? Yep, I think so. Ito na yata sila sa likod ng ano.
Someone wandered into our
Baka
safe
pinupush na
space.
ako dito. Yep, pinupush na ako. This is not good. Wala tayo sa circle.
Okay, back to DFT.
Tao dito.
Easy online, no? Ay, mayayain. Online spechay.
Tao sa likod.
Hello, mag-order ng
I missed.
and then that
Dalawa nandito. Dalawa sa tabi mo.
Sorry, tayo. Okay.
Naglag
ako
na
bigla.
ako.
Wala.
Wait lang, angle ko sa tapat ng electric. Para doble, aside from dun sa cooling.
cloud computing cooler.
Cloud compute.
Ah?
Big words.
What?
Wow.
Wow! I mean, combination ng mga... ano yan? Tech terms? Jargon? What do you call those, Benson?
Jargon.
What do you mean?
Cloud computing, cooling, architecture, technology.
Kasi nakalimutan ko.
Keywords.
Architecture, engineering, agile tech.
Sa akin na sa akin.
Oh, madami dyan.
Okay.
Papunta na sa inyo.
Got us some materials.
Scan ako, pero nawala din.
Parang may tao sa akin. Okay, parang wala. Kukunin ko tong mats.
Nascan ako kasi malapit ako kanina sa kanila eh. Pero nawala din ako.
Naglag ako.
Ito, pentay.
Nagra-rubber band ako, guys.
Ayun lang.
Sending a care package.
Care package on high.
Sa kanila yung ano. Yung drop.
Hindi pa naman nag-drop eh.
Okay, wala pa. Meron pa tayong steak.
Ayun na.
Papasok na si JP eh.
Andun na rin yung ano.
Nandun na din.
Kinuha na nila yung gamit.
Dami!
Charging on my shields.
Nandun sa kaliwa mo, guys. One broken.
Charging shields.
Meron sa'yo guys.
Uy, hindi naman tayo. Flash na to. Flash yan.
Oh god. I'm dead.
Flash to. Nagiging.
Wait lang. Kailangan ko
Wala.
mag-healing.
Nakapag-
Shields. Reloading.
Meron sa baba niya.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Wala ba sa tabi ko? Dami. Nakaspread sila.
GB. Comeback na ba?
Galing.
All father, bless us.
Aim strat.
Kasi kung bibili ba ako ng ult? Hunter ba ito? Hindi na. Hindi na lang ako extra
Jump
na
pad.
steam.
May nag-teleport.
Wala. Sa inyo lang. Ako yung nag-teleport.
Here's some materials.
Huwag kayo mag-engage agad na malayo pa ako.
Sa akin.
I have gathered materials.
Punta pa lang ako.
Wait lang.
Pero hindi na sa kabila.
Wait lang, kunin ko yung web. Kuha ang web.
Meron dyan din sa madami.
Yan nga ako eh.
Nakakuha mo na.
Gago! Kamali ako.
Hindi siya madami.
Sorry, mali yung nasa isip ko. Akala ko nandito sa gitna. Nandito pala sa bridge.
Okay, meron din sa gitna.
Dalawa na sa taas. Kamali ako.
May raid sila eh. Baka nag-TP.
Hindi, pero siya yung naunang nag-push.
Well done, winners. Now repeat.
Oh, grabe, JB. Sheesh.
Yung guy massive. Okay, last ka na yun, guys.
GG.
Nag-start ka na, Brandon.
Ano yan?
Nag-start ka na.
Nang?
TFT.
Hindi ba? Saan kaya? Wait lang, sir. Kain na ako.
Wait lang.
Nakita niyo na yung bagong video ni
Nung alin?
7JB?
Di pa, sir.
Hindi.
Tignan natin.
That's like R&B. Like R&B, Chong. Switch it up.
I don't see it though. Switch it.
J, as in J-A-Y, then B, switch it up.
Solo.
Yup.
I see.
Solo artist na sila.
Wala ko alam.
Teka lang.
Don't know enough about this.
Baby, I wanna switch it up. 지금 너 하나만 보여. 파도처럼 they right my body. Girl, nice and cool. Baby, I wanna switch it up. 지금 너 하나만 보여. 파도처럼 they right my body. Girl, nice and cool tonight. Pull up 너의 단추를 다 yeah. Pull up 너의 몸이 날 yeah. 내 목에 팔을 감아 Want you to hold me tight, yeah. 너의 모든 것을 탐색해 눈이 부셔 널 바라보게 I wanna hold you tight, yeah. I wanna hold you tight, yeah. 미치 터졌으면 네가 원하는 그게 뭔지 Want me inside You want me inside 그너 때문에 특별한 오늘 밤 내가 원하는 그걸 해줘 Want me inside Want me inside Baby I wanna switch it up 지금 너 하나만 보여 파도처럼 baby right my body Girl nice and calm Baby I wanna switch it up 지금 너 하나만 보여 파도처럼 baby right my body Girl nice and calm tonight Let me switch it up, yeah. Let me switch it up, yeah. Let me switch it up, yeah. Let me surf on your wave, wanna ride my body. Wanna ride my body, my way. My way.
What? Yo, huh. See the light. In my dinner room. We are mine. You stick it with my pheromone. I'm looking at your window. Open up cause we indoors. Switch it up like some mean flows. In your bed up all night till the sun hits our pimples. 너를 잘 몰라도 너를 너무 잘 알아. 파도 타기 하다 보면 시간 없는
Gago, nag-drop na pala kami. Iniwan na ng mga kasama ko. Ka-AFK lang ako.
Ano na lang?
Oo. Ibang account pala yung gamit ni Winfred. Kanina kayo din yung kita on.
She's my camellia, shelter from media, healthier than expected. That's how she grew up, trying to be self-made. Not that she's unaware, one of these hours go to waste. Depend on the battle, maybe you're better than liquor. Acting like I always knew her. She's my camellia, your love is so universal, keeping me company. Baby, your honesty, more than the harmony. Tell me, love, how do you do?
JB.
We have the 12.9-inch model. Substantial hardware improvements for iPad Pros. So let's just jump into it. The first thing, the headlining feature, is the liquid.
Beeps.
Liquid Retina XDR display on the big boy. So this only exists on the 12.9-inch model, and it's Apple's first device with mini LED display tech. So mini LEDs refer to backlighting technology. It's not the RGB matrix, it's nothing to do with the actual pixels themselves, it's just the backlighting behind the screen. So if we look at the pixels on this display and you compare it to the pixels on the display from last year's iPad Pro, they look basically identical, but they were lit very differently. So last year's iPad Pro, as an example, was lit by 72 LEDs. Now on the 2021 iPad Pro, instead of 72 LEDs, it's rocking over 10,000 mini LEDs, and they're grouped into almost 2,600 zones. And because these mini LEDs are a lot smaller, you have much finer control over them, and you're able to control the brightness and the darkness in scenes through something called local dimming. So across those 2,596 zones, it'll automatically increase the brightness or lower the brightness based on the image that appears on the screen. So if you have a scene that has a dark section to it, those zones will dim down to keep it really dark in that area. And the same thing as if you have something that's really bright in the scene, it'll amp up those LEDs to light it up brightly. Now, this animation is a very crude depiction of what's actually going on, but it is a localized control of the backlighting. And what you end up with is a fantastic looking image. You have blacks that are very deep. They can basically look like they're off. And on the opposite end, you have images that can look very bright. So you get a great contrast ratio, and you get more even backlighting with mini LEDs because they're so small and because they're so finely controlled. And on many levels, it's like an OLED panel, but without the disadvantages that OLED panels can have, like burn-in and color saturation issues. But all of this stuff is best shown with HDR content. Like if you're just viewing websites and just doing regular stuff on your iPad, you will not notice it very much. But when it comes to media consumption, particularly with HDR content, this display can look fantastic. Now, it's hard to showcase in a video like this, right? Because you're watching a video through my video, and it's just multiple degrees of data loss by the time you're seeing it, but it's an awesome screen. 120 hertz, it gets really bright, it's the king. I do have to say one thing though. For the people that own a 2018 iPad Pro or newer, those were already really good screens. They weren't as good as this, obviously, but they got bright and the image quality was good. So if I had a 2018 iPad or newer, I don't know if I'd pick up one of these new devices, or particularly the 12.9-inch model, just for the mini LED screen alone, especially when it comes to media consumption. But if your workflow can take advantage of a screen like this, that's a whole different thing. Okay, The feature that I personally liked the most when it came to these new iPads was not so much the Liquid Retina XDR display, as cool as that thing is, but it was actually center stage, this feature on the front-facing camera. So what it does is this form of facial tracking. Now, because of the pandemic, a decent chunk of the interactions that I've had with my family and friends over the past year and a half is through FaceTime. And these new iPads have these updated front-facing cameras that have wider lenses, newer sensors that enable a much better video conferencing experience. So this new front-facing camera has a wider FOV than the previous generation, and it just has more data to work with. So when it's able to, it'll zoom in to your face, and it gives a more intimate experience for the person you're having a conversation with. And then as you move around, it'll automatically track your face and crop the image to keep it tight on your face. And if a second person comes, it'll do the same kind of thing. It'll track multiple faces and just allow for a more dynamic video experience. Now, it sounds so simple, and it is, but it couldn't have been done with the previous camera hardware. It just wasn't a wide enough lens to be able to capture all the data that it needs to be able to pull this off. It also wasn't a good enough sensor to retain the resolution when it crops into faces. So this type of tech, it sounds so simple, but I think for me personally, it makes this purchase, like this is the thing that I would buy one of the new iPad Pros for, because everyone who's experienced this with me, they've all been like, how are you doing that? That's so cool. It just feels a lot more interactive with the people that you're video conferencing. It's cool. And it doesn't just apply to FaceTime. Any kind of video conferencing app can take advantage of it as long as the developer chooses to support the whole center stage functionality. Now, this year's iPad Pro also has support for Thunderbolt 3, so if you want to, you can connect some super fast drives to this thing. I also tried connecting an external GPU just for the lulz, and nothing happened. And it also has LiDAR. It's not new. Last year's model also had it, but if you're into AR, it has a pretty advanced LiDAR scanner for a tablet. But I want to talk about performance. So, this now has the M1 chip. It's the ubiquitous Apple chip at this point. It's very fast. It benchmarks fast and games run very smooth on it. And for the people out there who depend on their iPad Pros for their workflows and they want every last drop of juice they can squeeze out of their iPads, then this year's iPad Pro has more juice than ever. But I think there's a big chunk of people out there, myself included, who purchase iPad Pros who don't really care all that much about performance, right? And it's not because we don't care at all, it's just that it's always been good enough, but we do purchase it for things like the form factor, or you want the pencil support, you want the 120 hertz screen. There's a whole bunch of things that you might be drawn to the iPad Pro for, aside from its performance. And for those people, like myself, one of the reasons why we don't care too much about extra performance on the iPad Pros is because our applications do not exist in this ecosystem yet. But there is something of interest. So this year's iPad Pro can now be equipped or configured with up to 16 gigs of RAM. If you get one of the top spec configurations, you can get 16 gigs, which is a lot for an iPad. And like, there's a couple things that run through my mind. Number one, it's okay, maybe it's because the SoCs already have their memory baked in, right? Because Apple's M1 chip is like, it's the same chip across the whole board. Maybe they already have these 8 gigabyte configurations and 16 gigabyte configurations available for other devices, and they just might as well offer it for iPad. Maybe. But there's another part of me that thinks Apple's not the type of company that just puts extra RAM into the devices. If anything, they're usually really conservative, right? They have these devices that have weirdly low amounts of RAM. So now they're offering 16 in this. Maybe, hopefully, this is the year that we see Apple put like real apps in this thing, like Final Cut for video editors, or if you're into music, like any kind of DAW. Like imagine Ableton on this thing, like an actual full fat version of Ableton running on an iPad Pro. That'd be wicked. Or like for 3D modelers to be able to put Maya on this thing. I hope that the extra RAM is indicative of something brewing for WWDC. That's what I hope. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, the whole software, hardware thing, it's the same thing every year, right? Fantastic hardware, marred by insufficient software. That's the iPad story. It gets better and better every year, but it's still at this point where I can't use this as a main device, and I think a lot of people want to see more of their applications available on iPadOS, and I think this is the year that we could actually see it happen. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. I'll see you guys next time.
One on me. Hold the corner. Hold the corner. Good shot. Hey, flow in. Get in here. Get in here.
HPA, or high pressure air, is hands down the most proficient way to power an airsoft gun. However, it does come with drawbacks. Unlike AEGs, where your power source is carried inside your gun, most HPA users must carry their power source on their back, then connect it to their airsoft gun with a hose. For some, the tank and hose aren't an issue, but for others, it may be a deal breaker. I have used HPA in the past, but I find the tank and the hose a hindrance to ergonomics and ease of transport. The tank takes up a lot of precious backpack space. Compared to a battery, it's a lot of extra weight to carry around. The hose can be annoying when it comes to switching from left to right-handed shooting quickly. The hose also becomes snagged on branches, fences, and anything else you don't want it to get wrapped up in. Compared to batteries, the tank is also a hassle to travel with. If the event you are traveling to doesn't offer air fills, then you're on your own to find a paintball or airsoft shop close by that does. If you're traveling by air, your tank must be brought on as a carry-on item, emptied with its regulator off, then it must be inspected by TSA. For those wanting the proficiency of HPA, but not the tank and hose, Polar Star has released a fantastic alternative called the Kythera. The Kythera system is a mechanically powered HPA engine that can be powered from a tank and hose, 12 gram or 33 gram CO2 cartridges. Here's my Kythera setup. The gun is a SEMA SR16E3. Inside the gearbox is the Kythera SA V2 M4 M16 No. 1 nozzle. The Kythera trigger mechanism is designed to replicate the function, weight, which is a tiny bit lighter than a standard AR-15. Replacing the buffer tube is my Polar Star UGS stock. With this stock, I can power my Kythera with either 12 gram or 33 gram CO2 cartridges. The UGS tube can accept any mil-spec stock. For pickup games, I like to use the 12 gram adapter. It is much easier to carry around the smaller 12 gram cartridges in a pocket than the larger 33 gram cartridge. Replacing an empty cartridge can be done very quickly in-game and without too much hassle. Other attachments on my SEMA SR16E3 include a replica EOTech XPS2, 4x magnifier, a fake PEC 15, and replica M3X Lite with dual pressure pad switch. This setup is designed to be a close copy of a US Secret Service counter-assault team member's rifle. Let's take a look at the Kythera in action in-game.
Bullshit.
The Kythera is so quiet that sometimes it's hard to tell if you're shooting BBs. This is one detail of the Kythera though that I love. An airsoft gun this silent is ideal for stealthy type players.
Got it? Go, 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 go. Hit! Hit! 5, respawn. Crossing. Anthony, hurry.
This video was made possible by CuriosityStream. Sign up for the CuriosityStream Nebula Bundle deal to watch the extended cut of this video with everything we cut for time at curiositystream.com/Wendover. Supermarkets are a marvel obscured by banality. Nearly everyone in the developed world uses them regularly, so we have no basis of comparison. We just don't know a world without supermarkets. We don't know how it was a century ago, when grocery stores took the form of small storefronts found every few blocks throughout towns and cities. You'd hand the clerk a list indicating you wanted, among other things, apples. They'd then gather you apples, assuming they were in season and in stock. Nowadays, however, you are confronted by an aisle rivaling the size of those historic grocery stores, displaying a tantalizing, sprawling selection of Honeycrisps, Fuji's, Granny Smiths, Galas, Brayburns, and more. All the varieties, always in stock, all year long. They sit next to pineapples from Costa Rica, avocados from Mexico, and mangoes from Brazil. Further on, there's beef from an entirely different hemisphere and fish that was alive in an ocean thousands of miles away just days ago. A century ago, you could certainly buy a jar of peanut butter, but now you can buy regular peanut butter, or chunky peanut butter, or smooth peanut butter, or organic peanut butter, and it doesn't stop there. You can get the Chunky Jif brand, or the Chunky Smuckers brand, or the Skippy brand, the store brand, or one of so many more. You have dozens upon dozens of choices of peanut butter, dozens of choices of other nut butter, dozens of choices of other sandwich spreads, and all of that is just one part of one aisle. Put together, the stability and variety of choice in modern supermarkets is incredible. In big cities and small towns alike, American supermarkets offer an average of some 30,000 different product choices, which stay in stock about 92% of the time. While the concept of the modern supermarket first appeared in the US, it's since proliferated across the entire developed world. The fact that this has become not only normal, but expected globally is the greatest indicator of the robustness of the modern global supply chain. But that's not to say that it's easy. For consumers, it's simple. We can get everything we want anytime from a single store, but the complexity behind that is truly stunning. This is a typical American supermarket, a City Market brand store in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. While the brand is small, it's part of the larger King Soopers brand, which itself is part of Kroger's, the largest American supermarket company. The entire American supermarket landscape is incredibly consolidated, with the top 4 companies holding 45% of the market, which certainly has massively negative consequences, but this market concentration has led to the huge scale and complexity of our current food supply chain. Even independent grocers now tend to rely on gigantic cooperatives to amass buying power and supply their shelves, so industry-wide, scale and complexity is the norm. Now, supermarkets like this are involved with a perpetual balancing act. Keeping items in stock is of paramount financial concern. Research into the matter has found that on the 3rd instance of a desired item being out of stock, consumers will go to an alternate store 70% of the time. Being located just 5 minutes from a Walmart, this store can't afford to go out of stock of a single item, push a customer to a competitor, and lose out on thousands of dollars in annual sales because they decide they like Walmart more. Therefore, the task is to keep everything in stock as much as possible while having as little extra product as possible. So, the way this Glenwood Springs City Market, along with essentially any grocery store, keeps those 30,000 products continuously on its shelves is simple, at least on the surface. You see, every item in a supermarket is labeled with a barcode. Usually that code is standardized industry-wide, except with some white label products. When products arrive at the store, they are checked in to its inventory management software. From there, it's simple math. As products are checked out and paid for, they're subtracted from the inventory count, and as that count gets low, the store knows it's time to reorder. It's a straightforward concept, except when you actually implement it in the real world. There's more than one way a product can leave a store. It can get stolen, go bad, get damaged, or more. That means there's always a slight disparity between how many items there are on paper and in reality. Inventory management software can account for some of that, assuming employees feed it accurate data, but stores also conduct a manual count every month or two to determine the actual disparity. This is most important for financial reporting reasons. The retailer can't know how profitable it actually is until it knows how much product it lost, but it can also be used to tell the inventory management software how much it's typically off and correct for that in the future to make sure reorders happen on time. Then, there are other factors. For example, if a supermarket runs a sale on a given item, that product will likely sell more, so inventory management software needs to account for that in its ordering process to make sure that it correspondingly ramps inventory up. Then, incoming unseasonably warm weather could mean that barbecue charcoal sales, for example, are about to increase, while hot chocolate sales will decrease. So more complex inventory management software can account for external factors like these and make ordering decisions based upon them. Now, some products are simple to keep in stock. Oreos, for example, have a long shelf life and come from a massive manufacturer with multiple production facilities spread out across the world. There's plenty of slack and flexibility in that system. That's not the case with all foods. Take, for example, grapes. Table grapes are quite difficult to keep in stock. If there's a sudden surge in demand for grapes, you can't just order more from the factory. Their global inventory levels are essentially decided years before as growers decide whether to add or subtract vines from their vineyards. What's more, grapes are highly seasonal. They don't ripen off the vine, so they have to be picked exactly when they're best for eating, effectively meaning growers have a 1 or 2 week window to get a given vineyard harvested. Of course, grapes are found in grocery stores for far more than 2 weeks a year. In fact, they're almost always available. What makes that possible is a massive production cycle spanning across the entire Western Hemisphere. Now, the easy part of the year for the Glenwood Springs City Market to get its grapes is late summer. That's because California's Central Valley, where the vast majority of the country's grapes are grown, has its natural harvest season between mid-August and late September. That's extended earlier into July by ultra-early season varieties of grapes such as Chardonnay UA, and then later into November by late season varieties such as the Autumn King. Therefore, there's about a 4-month window when the entire country's grape supply is largely fueled by California. Once that ends though, things get trickier, but the